Hey, I'm Austin Scelzo, and I want to share with you the basic chop chord pattern. This is sort of standard in bluegrass, and this is the shape that you'll see for the kind of bluegrass chop. But there may be a time where you keep this same motion in the right hand and play this way instead. So that's what we're going to be looking at, just the basic rhythmic pattern for strumming. Alright, so let's start with this pattern here. And the difference between the two depends on the instrumentation. If you have a full bluegrass band, then all you really need to kind of fill in the gap is this shorter, quicker sound. That's where that classic bluegrass mandolin chop sort of developed, out of the fact that you have a lot of other instruments covering other sonic ground. If you're playing with another mandolin player or another fiddle player or in a trio or even a quartet that doesn't have all the instruments of the bluegrass band, it may be fitting to use a bigger sound. Right? And this bigger sound might be too much for a full band. But let's start there. I'm going to start with this open chord shape. So I'm putting my first finger on the second fret of both the G and the D string. So these are the two fattest strings, covering all four of those strings on those two. And then I'm also hitting my open A and open E. So what we're getting here is A, E, A, E. All right? So what I want you to try, along with this slowed down beat, is just play to this speed. We're gonna go, just think of it this way: soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. See if you can tap your foot to this beat that I'm moving to, and just do that. Soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. When you feel like you've got that, we're gonna try to hold that chord down and just play what we're speaking. Soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. If you ever get off, go back to just moving to the beat and speaking soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. It's always easier to speak a rhythm and move to it than it is to play it, because playing it involves sort of a lot of different motor movements. So if you speak, it makes it a little bit easier to absorb the timing of a new rhythmic idea. So we're going soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. If I were to count this, I might go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... For that soft part, I'm just hitting the fattest string. And it's kind of mostly a placeholder. It's not really creating that much sound. And I'm letting the notes ring out for the rest of it. Now we'll add this little thing here. This would be like the equivalent of a drum fill. And it would be sort of every 4 beats or in the spaces. Now, I have a separate video on that called the flourish, and that's a rhythmic tool that you use to fill in the spaces. If you've heard that before and you want to try it, let's do it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a. You might be used to this if you come from a guitar background. It's a common strumming pattern. 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a. Awesome. Now let's form this kind of classic bluegrass chop chord. So this is an important one to know if you're playing bluegrass music. You're going to put a finger, your second finger on the 5th fret here, your first finger on the 4th fret of the A string, your third finger on the 7th fret of the D string, and you can play it just like that. But if you have the flexibility, the full chop chord includes the pinky as well. So don't worry about it if you can't do that. But normally you have all 4 of these notes. You get a 4-note chord. So to make sure everything's right, you can play each note individually. So I have my chop chord there. Play along with me either with this version or this version. So we'll do the same thing now, soft, loud, soft, loud. Now you'll notice if you don't move your hands, you still get that ringing sound, right? But we're aiming for this sound. So how do we go from this to this? Well, what we're doing here, you can, if I zoomed in my left hand, excuse me, you'll see that I am releasing the strings right after I hit that chop. So the mechanics of this is that if I were to strum this without moving my hands, we get a resonant sound, but I can stop that resonation earlier by picking up my fingers. As soon as I pick up my fingers, this sound deadens. So what we want to get in the habit of to get that good bluegrass chop is as soon as we hit that soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, at the same time or slightly just after we hit that loud strum, we're going to release our fingers like this. So you can try that with me. Ready? Here we go. Right? Just hold it down and release it right after you strum. Ready, again. See how quickly you can release that. Here we go. Again, here we go. Let's try twice as fast. Go. Again. Releasing the fingers. Experiment with how quick that chop is, or how quick the deadening of the sound is, or how long it is. Playing around with how long that resonates is a lot of what makes a really good rhythm player for mandolin. Someone who plays along with the amount of space that there is in between each chop there. So with this in mind, let's slow this down even further and try to practice this in context. So we'll do this soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, loud. But this time, instead of holding the strings down, we'll try to release those fingers for the basic chop sound. If this is too fast right now, feel free to slow down this video with the slow down feature. So you see my fingers releasing right on the beat. Idea we did before, where there's a little flourish that I mentioned, you can add that here in the after every 4 beats, or in the context of the song, maybe when the singer is done in between the singing phrases, you could add that little flourish. 3, 4, E, and in that case, we're going to keep the fingers depressed. Mechanics of how to do that strum, take a look at my video called The Flourish. But right now we're just going to see if we can vary from that strumming pattern and add that little flourish by keeping our fingers down. Last thing we might do is go between the chop and some sort of basic lick. So you'll see that something like this might be common. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It goes right back into the chop. These are different ways pattern and adding other ideas. Let's go back to our first open chop, which is the one that we would use if we don't have a full band. We need to make a little bit more sustain, a little bit more sound. Maybe we're accompanying another mandolin or fiddle, and we want to imitate the feeling of the sustain that a guitar has. And so we do this open shape, which makes it covers more sonic ground. But at the same timing, we're still playing soft loud to the timing of 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 3 and 4. Now just for fun, let's switch this to a regular G chord, just like the regular G chord you play like this. Basic open G chord. It has the open G and D strings running. So we get that ringing sound just like the open shape we had for A. And now make that bluegrass chop shape by adding this finger here and this pinky if you can reach. And we'll try that bluegrass chop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Nice work. So those are the two main ways you're going to be playing rhythm on the mandolin, either with those open chords or those closed sort of bluegrass chop shapes. The reason you'd pick one over the other will depend on the instrumentation and maybe even the genre of song. In a full bluegrass band, you want to be using that quick chop. So it doesn't cover as much ground, it does just its job and gives the iconic bluegrass groove. If you're playing with just another mandolin or fiddle or a small trio, you might want to cover more ground by doing these open shapes that use open strings on your instrument that can resonate. Remember to always try any new rhythmic idea by moving your body to the beat and speaking it before you try playing it. If you're moving and feeling the beat and doing things with your left and your right hand that are different, those are always a lot more challenging. You want to get things in the body first when it comes to rhythm. So moving to the beat, speaking the rhythm, like boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, boom, chuck, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and that sort of stuff that we did. So good luck with this. Try it on different speeds. Both slow down the video and speed it up. Try this in different keys on your own, and you'll be well on your way to contributing in a band or jam setting. Thanks for listening. I'm Austin. See you around.